Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Fallout 76 video on the channel. We're now just a couple of days away from the brand new Fallout 76 update called the Fallout 76 CAMP Revamp. Now the entire thing has kind of been focused around this new revamp coming to the camp building system, but there is also a whole bunch of other changes that's also getting added in, which will excite a whole bunch of other people, even if you don't really care about camp building. On that note, I want to do a kind of little heads up of 10 major changes coming into this update, which are supposed to be coming, but I am making this slightly early, so if they do a last minute delay, I apologise in advance. But all of this has been kind of announced somewhere and has been in the PTS for us to test out, so it should, fingers crossed, all be in the game. Now the first one I want to touch on very briefly is going to be all around perk changes, and I say briefly because this is the one which I would assume would be some maybe kind of little tweaks and stuff before getting released, but there is meant to be a whole bunch of different perk changes coming in. A lot of them are just kind of little tweaks here and there to actually kind of use less perk points, kind of like Bloodied Mess, but that's meant to be going from 3 ranks all the way down to just 1 rank. There's also more changes coming to perks like Tank Killer, Bulletstorm, Meat Mincer as well, which I actually don't remember the name of, but I think it's changed, so yeah, there you go. These are just a handful of ones to keep an eye out for, so as soon as the update hits, go check your perks, see if any's kind of unequipped themselves or changed in any way, because they might affect your build, especially if you're diving straight in to grind in the new season. Since I've mentioned it, let's just make that point number 2, and that of course is going to be the new Season 22. I did a review of all the items for this the other day, and there seems to be a lot of stuff on the way, but there seems to be a kind of weird theme to it, where we have like previous themes where they all kind of run in a pattern. This one is all meant to be linked to modern living, so all the different items that's in this all have a mildly different theme. So you've got like Nuka-Cola items, and then it switches up to like different brands like Sunset Sarsaparilla and like all this different stuff. So there's lots of different brands coming into this, as well as lots of random items just kind of thrown into it, like bowling balls. There's like 8 different bowling balls I counted the other day, and yeah, just don't know why they're in there, but yeah, there's still a whole bunch of stuff to unlock and collect in there if you are interested. Now, of course, discussing the kind of main thing in this update, that's going to be the relaxed building, and if you haven't seen anything on it yet, this is actually a really good change, especially if you enjoy building your camps. And once this update is live, you'll be able to go to your camp and get building, and instead of being kind of restricted to all these kind of clipping issues and stuff like that, where you can't merge items without doing glitches, and all the carry on it kind of is nowadays to float items. Well, all this has changed, because now you're going to be able to make floating camps thanks to these changes. You're also going to be able to merge things without doing glitches, and realistically I think all of these changes are going to really transform camp building, making a lot of exciting camps out there for us to go and visit or even build if you have that kind of level of talent, which I sadly do not. All in all though, this is something that I'm really excited for, and something that they've done with it and kind of merged into this update is they've finally done something which I've been wanting to kind of see in the game for I don't know how long, and that is organising the build menu. So for the point number 4 out of the 10, this one is one of my favourites. For years and years I've struggled actually building camps for the simple fact that literally this thing is all over the place at the moment. Like, if you log into the game before this update and try and build something, trying to find like an exact item unless you've memorised its location can be a right faff on, whereas now this is like kind of organised it a lot better, so certain chairs are all linked together, plushies are all linked together in the same category, and so on and so on. It's a lot tidier, it's a lot kind of quicker to find things, and yeah, I actually really like this change. Now in regards to all of these kind of changes that's coming into camps and stuff like that, they've also announced a new little kind of thing with a bit more focus on camp competitions. If you don't know by now, there's been like stuff going on for years in the camp kind of scene where the Bethesda kind of side of things have done their own competition, and you'd share it in the Discord, like a picture of your camp or something. I think you would send it in the Discord. I'm not sure. I've never actually really got involved. I've just seen the posts about it. But you'd post it in the Discord as far as I'm aware, and then they would vote on it, and if you won, you got like linked in an article, which I still haven't actually seen in many months now actually. But they used to have an article where they'd share these posts, and then they'd give people atoms for doing such a good job of building their camps. Well, this is now changing, and we're going to a similar kind of thing of a monthly competition in terms of building your camps and stuff, and they've all got themes. So they released this the other day in the Discord called the Contest Extravaganza. You've got 4 different themes. You've got Rebuild Appalachia for September, Halloween for October, The House Always Wins for November, and The Kindest Dwellers Ever Known for December. Now, from reading through it very kind of briefly, you've got to actually upload pictures or a 1 to 2 minute video into the Discord channel for a kind of chance of competing in this, and again you can win some prizes including atoms and other bits and bobs. Now the next big thing, which I'm sure a lot of people are really excited for, and this is going to be a whole new event, and this is going to be Mischief Night. And I say it's a whole new event, yes I do know it has been out before, but realistically it was kind of completely different. It's a different location, there's different things like change with it, there's brand new rewards, they're not using the same rewards as last time. So really it's like the old thing completely remade in a different way, in a different location with different rewards. It's literally, yeah, it's kind of based on the same premise but completely different, if you know what I mean. But anyways, after a long wait, this is coming into the game. It was meant to come out last year, but there was delays, there was meant to be problems with it. There's still a few problems with it. I don't think it's perfect by any means, but it's exciting that it's coming to the game this October, ready for Halloween. So yeah, it's not coming in straight away with the update, but it is coming in around Halloween. The exact date for that, if you are kind of looking forward to it, is going to be October the 7th till October the 21st. Overall, it is a really exciting event, so yeah, definitely get involved. It's kind of chaotic, it's kind of fun, it's got a lot of chaos and kind of random stuff going on with it, so yeah, something to definitely look forward to and something to really kind of get involved with during that October month, because that October month is looking beautiful for playing this game. Now going on to the last few bits and bobs, these are kind of like the finer details which have been announced and kind of tested in the PDS, which should be coming into the game. We have the new aid box first of all, which has officially been announced to be a reward on page 7 of the new season 22. The downside of it is going to be that it is linked behind a Fallout First reward, therefore you can only use this item if you have Fallout First. So not ideal if you don't, it is kind of restricted in that sense, but it is a nice reward for those who are paying monthly to have that Fallout First subscription. What this item will do is basically let you store all of your aid items within it, and it does include virtually everything bar serums, magazines, bobbleheads, and there was something else on the list that I forgot, but I didn't script this video, so anywho. Now, I suppose this one's more important than the last one that I'm going to mention, and this one's going to be a whole bunch of damage numbers changing, and they have made a huge list of buffs. Now, I don't want to announce all of them individually or anything like that, just in case they do any like last minute tweaks, like I say in the actual patch notes, which I will be kind of reviewing when it comes out on Tuesday, and I'll have more videos kind of reviewing everything and announcing anything that they may have secretly thrown in there or anything like that. But one which really stood out for me, which hopefully won't change, is the assault rifle, which I did do a video on. If you haven't seen it, I will link it at some point during this video, but yeah, go check that out because it's really cool. And the actual weapon itself, the assault rifle, now has turned out to be, I think, the most deadly assault rifle in the game, or at least kind of one up there, definitely for the kind of machined ones in terms of fixer handmade assault rifle, combat rifle, all that stuff. It's definitely up there to potentially be the most powerful from what I tested, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's cool to see this kind of old weapon get a bit of love added into the game. At number 9, we have some kind of weird quiet changes going on which not many kind of stuff is telling us about, and this is some changes going on over at Point Pleasant, where it appears that the bridge between our land and the west is being extended, so it looks like we could potentially be getting some kind of interesting moves heading into the west and potentially expanding the map at some point in the future. One to definitely check out and keep an eye on. Now finally, for my final point at number 10, this is going to be a little kind of minor change which I personally really like. It kind of adds a little bit of fun on screen, and I don't know if I'm just being a little bit dramatic with it, but it's the damage numbers changes. If you haven't noticed it by watching the other clips of what I've put in this video, the damage numbers are changing in terms of the way they're displayed on the screen. You can turn these on in your settings if you haven't already. Just scroll down to, literally it's called damage numbers, so just scroll through each of the settings. I think it might be in your display or the game settings, one of the two, and you can turn these on, whereas before they kind of stayed stationary, just going straight up. Now they kind of bounce around, which kind of adds this kind of fun kind of element to it, I suppose you could say. But I personally really like it. I think it looks cool. Let me know what you think about it down in the comments below. But it is the final change which I want to announce, because these are all changes I hope and believe will be definitely getting added into the game. Like I say, I have made this right before the actual announcement on Tuesday, but I've got a pretty busy week, so I want to just get ahead of myself, get this up there so people know exactly what to expect in this update, and then later on in the week I'll make another video after the patch notes to see any changes they've announced which no one kind of knew was coming or anything like that. Alright, so stay tuned on the channel for all of that. Make sure to hit that like button if you haven't done so already, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. I will keep you up to date with all things Fallout 76, and I'm also posting a lot of YouTube shorts nowadays, so yeah, keep an eye out on all of them. Thank you all for watching, take care of yourselves, have a good weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. I think I just said have a good weekend on a Sunday. It is Sunday, isn't it? Yes. That doesn't make any sense. Anywho, bye bye.